Now we're going to work on the sides and back section, which is basically from where my comb is down. So I'm going to use a 3/8 blade on my detachable blade clipper, which is the 3.5 blade. And what I want to do is once I get to the temple area, I want to start to very slowly scoop the blade out. So I cut hairs, I pull away from the head, and I want to leave myself a good inch, 3/4 to an inch area there to blend it into the top. If I shave it all the way up here, then I'm going to be blending into my guide. And you never want to cut into your guide after you create your guide. So let's begin and I'll show you what I mean. So we get to the temple area and very slowly we start scooping away and let that clipper work. Let it cut as we pull away from the head. So I know a lot of people tend to be concerned with speed. The slower you work, the slower your hands go, the faster you're going to be done with your haircut. Because the idea is you're going to do everything right on the first try. You're not going to have to keep going over your work. So as we get to the back area here, we're going to dip down slightly to allow for the crown. Okay, when we finish with our 1/4 inch blade, the next blade in their series is our 1/8 inch blade, which is also our 1.5 blade on the detachable blade clipper. We're gonna further go on around the edges with our semi-finish with the 1 blade shorter, and this is also our cutting and blending blade. So I'm going to take an underhand grip with my clipper. I'm going to keep the heel of the blade on the comb to cut length, and as I work my way towards the top, I'm going to slowly pull the heel of the blade away, and I'm going to do less cutting and more blending. So we want to just blend this little dark spot by taking some of the weight out, and then we start to pull that heel of the blade away from the comb, and now we're just blending. So we go from cutting and blending to just blending. Okay, for the last step, what we're going to do is we're going to actually cut the part in. So I've asked the client to part his hair exactly where he likes it, which is your best bet. With this client, or this particular type of client, they're very particular. They know exactly where they want their part, so you're much better off having them part it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my small finishing comb, and we're going to hold the hair out of the way like that, and I'm going to use that as my guide. And I'm just going to go in and very carefully make the line, using that as my guide. You might have to wiggle it back and forth just a little bit to get your line. Let the clipper work. And we're going to work our way back. We're not going to round it into the back. We're just going to go straight as far back as we can. And then we're going to leave it at that. And then now that I have the line, I'm going to go back and just sharpen it up a little bit and brush that paste right in there. Okay, then as we come around to the other side, we want to make sure we pull that down right where the part is. We've got a very distinct parting.